knowledge and wisdom that is coming from you. Guide us through the lesson until we finish. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Thank you very much, Jacqueline, for the opening prayer. And now, class, I want us to start from where we stopped yesterday, so that we can actually begin looking at the other another year's papers for questions. Right. So yesterday we were able to look at the questions numbers 5 and 6. And we see that very many people have unmuted themselves. Please, if you have unmuted yourself and there is a background noise, please make sure that you are muted so that you don't interfere with our class. Let me switch off some people's videos here.
Nimeshapata the number 14.
Right. So we looked at question number 5, question number 6, and we looked at maybe I may not want to take much time looking at that area, but let's look at the slides. So we talked about challenges that a class teacher may encounter when fostering partnership with parents. Yesterday we talked about things to go with language barriers. We talked about the parents' attitude towards maybe education, towards the teacher. The level of education of the parent may also be a challenge. So we talked about maybe one point here, we have lack of parent education to help with the schoolwork. If given homework, the parent is not able to understand the work that you've given. We also have the cultural or socio-economic differences. We have language differences between parents and the staff. There is the parents' attitudes about the school. Some parents may be very negative about the school, yet their children are learning in that school. The staff attitudes also towards the parents and also the concerns about safety in the area after school hours. This, especially the last point, where there is the one parent who agitates that the child be allowed one hour early, depending with the safety of a given area. We also talked about strategies that parents will use to facilitate development of first language in children. They can get their child's attention by facing the child or sitting down with them. They can have fun together. Remember that children learn by doing, and they also imitate whatever activity which is being done, especially when the verbal aspect of it. Comment, not questions, especially when the parent is supposed to give, especially the positive comments about the progress of the child, and correcting them immediately when they are wrong. Give them time to think. And again, parents, you should use simple language. This is why you realize those who wrote, for example, grade 1 course books. However, how much learned they are, they have to lower themselves to the level of the learners, whatever they are writing to be understood. They also repeat what you say, and then make it easy for them to listen and also build on what they say. So that which the learner is, that which the child is saying, as a parent, you should build on it without getting to speak the child's language, but being very keen and careful to make sure that you speak the right way that the words are supposed to be spoken. Explain 3 ways through which a teacher may ensure success during client-centered approach to counseling. We talked about respecting the individual. It is very important to get to know, of course, the patient as a person or the client as a person and recognize their unique qualities, however wrong they may be, even in your opinion. Then treating people with dignity, treat these people with dignity and understanding the experiences and goals. That is where we talked about the empathy, and then maintaining confidentiality, except where necessary, the confidentiality may be broken. You may also give responsibility to them so that they can report back, and then you can also have what we call coordinating the care. We were able to distinguish between learning by mastery and learning by discovery. That is learning by mastery and discovery. I don't know what I wrote, but I'm seeing inquiry. I ought to have written about the mastery. Sorry for that. I think I'm going to edit it so that I can insert the right wording. But discovery is finding concepts through a series of data or information obtained through observation or experimentation. When you are discovering something, it means you are going to deeply get into it, to try to do a lot of research on it by getting the information, analyzing it, and finally making the conclusion. But when we are talking about learning by mastery, we are talking about maybe what already exists. And now the explanation that is given, you have to, you have to synthesize it to an extent that when you are asked about it, when you do not have the original material where the information is written, then you are in a position to retell or to paraphrase that which was written or that which you had learned. Sorry for that. I think I'm going to edit it before you get the document. I will have done so. Describe 4 projective tests techniques that a teacher can use to identify learners with EBD. We are having the so-called word association test. We have word association test. I don't know, anyone who has the knowledge on the word association test? Word association test, how it is done? This is always done in it is done in the foundation levels. Maybe somebody to tell us about it. Word association test. What is it?
Pascal,
Yes, yes.
is it the same as whereby you have words so that learners can associate the words with the pictures, or what is it?
Yes. When we talk, yes.
Maybe you write the word pot so that the learner can associate the word pot with the picture or the
Right.
drawing.
Thank you very much.
Although I'm not sure with that one.
Thank you very much for your response. Let's hear from Susan and then we continue. Susan?
We also have the puzzle, whereby they are given description, and then they write the words.
So when we talk about the word association test, as Akifuma has said, the picture, when you talk about, for example, when you talk about cup, you are talking about cup, while at the same time, you are showing the picture of the cup. So maybe when you tell learners now, you realize at the foundation levels, the learners, their ability to recognize objects is very high, but they have not mastered the words. For example, the learner will tell you that this is a cup, and they see the cup. But when you remove the picture and remain with the word, they will not be in a position to to read it for you and tell you that the word is cup. So when we are talking about the word association test, you are bringing a picture and its name or a word attached to it. So that is the word association test. It can be used to identify learners with the emotional problems. For example, when you have a child who is having the emotional problem, and you, of course, you have the word, maybe the cup, and you also have the word. You have the cup and in the picture, and you also have the word. So the reaction of the child towards this will tell you that the child has such an. However, some children may be having late developmental milestones, and they may also they are likely also to behave the same way. However, you are supposed to at least take your learners through almost all these techniques so that you come up with refined technique, or rather refined conclusion on the problem. Then we have this the sentence completion test. Somebody to tell us about sentence completion test. Yes. Sentence completion test. English teachers, Swahili teachers. Sentence completion test.
Pascal,
Yes, Jacqueline.
is this not the filling in the gaps? The runners are given maybe sentences to complete by filling in using their own words or using the pictures. As I can guess, I'm not very sure.
Any other version or somebody with a different opinion? It is very true. We are having the broken passage that where the learners have to fill in the correct answers. The correct answers. We also have the so-called thematic perception test. We talked about this. What is this one, class? Thematic perception test. Yes. Thematic perception test. Rosaida.
Let me try. I'm not very sure where you are able to give the learner a test. Then from there you are able to check on different developmental aspects, whether the child is developed in that kind of a test.
I don't know whether I got her. She was breaking on my side.
Pascal?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? I'm saying.
Pascal, I want to try.
Try, Fury.
I think thematic perception test. I think it's about topical assessment of the learner.
The topical assessment of the learner, just from the word themes. From the word themes, and most of the time, this is done based on what is already covered in the class, what is already covered with the learners. So that is now referred to as the. Then we have third person techniques. Somebody to tell us on the third person technique. Third person technique. Please let's speed up so that we can move on faster. The third person technique. Third person, third person, third person.
Okay, let me try that one also.
Okay, yes.
Third person technique. I'm also thinking that this, when doing a projective testing, another person, an extra person is involved in the picture to handle that, to help in identifying the learner's emotional problem. How about that one?
Okay. I got you, I got you, I got you.
Yeah, thank you.
Pascal, I'm just trying, huh? Maybe that third person technique is whereby maybe you involve the services of an professional, maybe like an occupation therapist.
Come up again, please.
Maybe you involve the services of other professionals, maybe someone like an occupational therapist to assist in carrying out the test.
Okay, yeah. So when we talk about the third person technique, it is a technique that, of course, it is more than any other projective technique, but now it is used to deepen the feelings and also the opinions of the respondent that might have received and not confirmed, especially when you now involve the third person, the third party, who is more experienced in a given area to help solve some problems or some conflicts in the mind of an individual, then we now refer that to as the third person technique.
Pascal,
Yeah.
yeye tulifunzwa kweli ama ni mimi peke yangu ndio naona ni kama
Hata mi nashindwa ni module gani hii?
Kumbe mmenyamaza tu na mnaumia.
Iko kwa
module
number 11.
Sawa.
Pascal, utashare hiyo module 11 please.
Pascal. Mr. Pascal.
Yes.
Is that the person technique ni sawa na house 3 person?
Ni sawa na?
House 3-person test?
Of course, yes. Yes. It is also referred to as the house 3-person test. And yes.
Okay, let us ask questions kwa hiyo 3 hours. Kuna watu watalala tuwaamshe tu. Sasa kama hii projective test techniques that a teacher can use to identify learners with the emotional problems. Mimi hata sijui imetoka module gani. Si itanipata off guard, si ndio ya kulala ama uende msalani ukirudia.
Utaenda tu.
Kuna
Ukirudi
maswali
utapata
mengine,
nini imeisha.
kuna maswali mengine hata ukipewa module utapata ukose. Balaba Luka, you hand is up.
Unapewa module unatafuta hata unaanza kulani module.
Akifuma. Si wewe ndio utuma hiyo module hapa tu tukasoma.
Hiyo module, hiyo vitu sijaona mahali popote. Mimi hata module zingine sina.
Enda ufungue yote mpaka chini utaipata.
Malaba Luka, unmute and respond.
Maraba nasikia Maraba anafaa kupata sign interpreter.
Okay, let's carry on. I don't know how we are going to assist her, rather to assist him. I don't know. Is there somebody who is able to assist him in the interpretation? I'm looking for Julian's. I can't see her. Okay.
Ogada can try.
Sio saizi, baadaye siku ingine.
Okay. Ways in which a teacher can promote moral values in learners during the conventional level according to Kohlberg's theory. Now, as I said yesterday, that Kohlberg was a theorist whose theories deals with the moral development in a child. So, according to him, rather, in how a teacher can promote the moral values, number one, by rewarding and punishing. When children receive praise and approval from for their behavior, they are likely to engage in such behaviors in future. And however, if their behavior meets with the reprimand from parents and significant others, the undesirable behavior may not be repeated. So by rewarding, while on the rewarding the good behavior, on the other side, punishing the bad behavior.
Pascal.
If you so wish, you can split the 2 points to be mean that point to be 2. Yes, somebody's going.
Pascal.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, but when you talk about conventional level, that the moral development of Kohlberg, I think there's a slight mistake. When you talk about moral development by Kohlberg, there is pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional.
Mm-hmm.
But the question there is asking about conventional.
Mm-hmm.
And the reward and punishment seems to be appearing in pre-conventional. Please kindly check.
In pre-conventional, that is before conventional, right?
Yes.
But now you will realize that it also applies in conventional. Because remember, we are talking about the child. Remember, we are talking about this comes from module number 2. on the child development, and you realize that we talk about rewards and punishment already in the pre-conventional, but at the same time, it is the same child that is growing. So what are you going to do to promote moral values? Again, when the child has showed the good behavior, you are still going to reward. The same thing that you did in the pre-conventional, you are going to reward. But also, not just rewarding. Here I've just written 3, but we also have another one. We also have the guidance and counseling. The guidance and counseling aspect. That's maybe the 4th point here. So you are going to reward, and these are the ones who are going to show the bad behavior. You are going to offer guidance and counseling. Now, do you realize that even after guidance and counseling, the behavior is still persisting? So you are now going to punish here. So reward, guidance and counseling, and then you are now going to offer the punishment, especially to make sure that now the bad behavior is met with a reprimand. Of course, that is an aversive stimulus that no one will want to identify themselves with. Remember, we talked about the ego, the super ego, the id, the ego, and the super ego. And what did we say about the id? Or what are those things? The id, the ego, and the super ego. What are they?
Personalities.
Personality
Development.
And so we talked about the id that works on gratification. Haitaki mambo ya kusema ti I am feeling some pain. It always wants to, to enjoy. It likes the enjoyment aspect, the gratification aspect. But when we talk about the ego, what do we say about the ego?
It works on reality principles.
It works, the ego now works on the reality principle, where even when you are wrong, you know that I am wrong. You're walking, but at the back of your mind, you know that you are wrong. But now when we talk about the super ego, what did we say about the super ego?
It acts as the judge.
Very right. It acts as the judge that now punishes the ego and the id. So it now acts as the judge, where now you are wrong, you have realized you are wrong. And what next? You're supposed to be punished, and you find yourself justifying that the punishment is right because of the fact that you are wrong. But now when we are talking about the child development, we have talked about reward and the punishment, the guidance and counseling. Then there is the imitation of role models. Children needs to be exposed to parents. Children, if exposed to parents and teachers who are of good morals, they may emulate those moral behavior. However, today the good morals may not be there, or they may be very few. From the same parent, who is supposed to show the child good behavior, is always found on the opposite side of the right principles. And therefore, the child lacks the reason why they should behave morally upright. We have heard of cases where, especially in the town setup, and even in the village, where a single mother tells a daughter of 17 years that it is now morning, kila mtu aende atafute, tukutane jioni. So you can look at that and you realize that there is no moral uprightness that is getting instilled, because if you look at the nature of what the person is going to do to earn something, you realize that it is nothing less than leading the child to immorality. Then again, you need, by teaching them as a teacher, you can also teach your should, those children that have been entrusted on your hands, you should also teach them to uphold on the moral values that are able to keep them and in this life. Very fast, I want us to roll to the 2013, as I indicated yesterday, and we are getting question number 1. Differentiate between assimilation and accommodation according to Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development. You look at number 1A and you also look at number 1B, that is outline 6 educational implications of Jean Piaget's cognitive theory to a special needs education teacher. Now, when we talk about the theories of the human development, especially on the cognitive aspect, I want us to be reminded that in most examinations we are going to come across, we will be meeting these theories by the name Jean Piaget. So let us not lose sight of him, and let us continue going through. I also want to say categorically that there were some clips that were sent by somebody in a certain wall. I can't remember which wall was that. I think they were from MKU. They were from MKU, and they are talking about, I think this one for Jean Piaget was captured there. I don't know whether you people came across that. Mani mimi nimesema vitu sijui kwenye ziko. Did you come across something of that kind?
Yes, but I personally, I deleted unknowingly. Mkituma tena tufurahi.
Okay. Okay, so let's carry on then. So what is assimilation? Differentiate between assimilation and accommodation. This is not social studies. This is according to the Jean Piaget theory of cognitive development, and so we need to get it very right. What are the differences between the two terms? Yes, Anne?
I have never seen something like this, but in social studies, assimilation means trying to change the person so that completely so that they can fit in the group. Then accommodation is whereby for the moment, then they can just try to be in the group, and then after that, they are on their own.
Right. Somebody who wants to try?
Pascal?
Yes.
To me, assimilation is whereby you want someone to change his or her behavior so that he or she can fit in whatever you are doing, or you expect him or her to participate in or to associate with you. Then in accommodation, you just accept that person the way he or she is. Thanks.
Right. Thank you. Now, the other aspect now is according to Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Somebody was asking this Jean Piaget, where do we find him? In which module?
Module.
Yes?
Kwa module nyingi hapa si ako.
Tuambie zote ama tuambie yenye
Guidance
unajua.
and counseling. Ako kwa module 11, module 2.
But now for
Juu
cognitive
hii
development.
ya psychology mtu anaona tu hizi madiori hizi za umbwa ilikuwa inapewa sijui nini na makengele.
Hiyo za kina Ivan Bifro na nani BF Skinner.
Yes. So when we talk about when we are referring to Jean Piaget cognitive development, you will get that in module number 2. You get it in module number 2 because the other ones speak of some other things, the other modules. Now, again, yes.
Jean Piaget ameongea vitu viwili. Mimi najua tu hizi ya cognitive theory and the moral development. So, ukitaka kujua tujue kwa cognitive zenye vile ameongea, then we come to moral development. Actually, they confuse here. They confuse some part.
Yeah, again, you can get it from, there is this document by KICD known as Basic Education Framework. Munaijua?
Yes.
So in the Basic Education Framework, you'll get different theorists. You'll get different theorists. And one of the theories there is the Piaget's cognitive development theory. And you'll realize that they have even mentioned the stages of cognitive development according to Jean Piaget, among others. So you can get it, but try as much as possible so that you can get to read more about it. We are going to look at that number 1. Let's look at number 1B. That is on outline 6, educational implications of Jean Piaget's cognitive theory to a special needs education teacher. Yes.
Baskar, can you please clarify that question? Educational implication, is that problems or what?
Yes. Oh, let's hear from Anthony Matege, then maybe we talk about it.
Yes, Pascal.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Jean Piaget had so much emphasis on the learning through play, that is in young children. There was also a lot of emphasis on use of objects, that is concrete objects, to manipulate objects through learning, to receive information and experiences. So I guess to say that one of the contributions and the importances that that took place or that has happened through the theory of cognitive is use of concrete materials. There's also encouraging the learners to play. There's also even manipulating the environment to fit the situations of the learner. A trial. Thank you.
Okay, Jacqueline was asking. Jacqueline was asking on elaboration of the question. What is the meaning of implications? Let's start from there. Yes?
Problems or challenges.
Problems or challenges, implications, impacts, and
Implications are conclusions you can draw from something.
very right. These are now once you've studied something, you've analyzed it, now you can draw conclusions from it and say that according to what I have studied, these are now my conclusions. So outline 6 educational implications of Jean Piaget's cognitive theory to a special needs education teacher. What is the importance of the teacher getting to know on Jean Piaget's cognitive theory of development?
Pascal, si hapa sahi ni kujaribu tu. It enables the teacher to know that learning starts from simple to complex.
Yes?
It enables the teacher to know that learning or teaching starts from simple to complex activities.
Pascal,
Yes.
before to call on this question, it seems like atuelewi to display majibu ya this question, then you to move forward mbele mbele. We are the purpose of the class for revision.
Okay, then let's carry on to the next question, C. Then we display the answers from there. Explain 5 characteristics of child development. Characteristics of child development. Characteristics of child development. And
Yeah, I think there is intellectual, social, physical.
right, intellectual, the physical,
And even cognitive.
and even cognitive. Thank you. I'm not going to waste time there because I want us to look at up to number 2C. We have written 2B, 2 of them. Explain the meaning of the term assertiveness as used in life skill.
Hii ni pepa ya mwaka gani?
2013.
2013.
Yes.
Hey, nice.
Walikipata.
Yes.
Pascal, I think assertiveness is you are giving your own views and opinions without hurting the feeling of other people.
And also without assuming the wrong thing and accepting it finally. That is in assertiveness. Examine 4 benefits of assertiveness to a learner with special needs in education. Standing for your right without offending others. Yes, Anthony, I've also seen your response. What are the importance of the benefits of assertiveness to a learner with special needs in education? Yes,
Pascal,
yes, Jacqueline.
I think it helps learners to understand each other's problem in classroom.
The learners to understand each other's problem in the classroom. Trial, field demo.
It helps the learner to earn respect from others.
And learners learn and respect from others. Thank you. Helps express feelings just. Field demo. Yes, field demo. Fidema, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I forgot to lower, but I can say it improves the decision-making skills.
Philadelphia, you are Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, yes.
It improves the decision making skills. It promotes advocacy on the child. It should be advocacy on the rights of the child with SNE, and also the teacher is able to learn learners' personality differences. Okay, let's look at the last question there. Discuss 5 ways through which a teacher can enhance attention for learners with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Discuss 5 ways through which a teacher can enhance attention for learners with attention deficit hyperactivity disorders in classroom, ADHD.
Number 1, a teacher to give small tasks that are manageable to these learners.
Very true. Small tasks that are manageable, these learners. Field demo.
The teacher should also give them extra time on tests.
Pascal,
Yes.
a teacher to accompany himself or herself with a rod to class.
With what?
A rod.
Pascal. Pascal.
Exactly.
Yes.
What about differentiating the methodologies used in teaching certain tasks? Then also a teacher can also break the lesson into Allah. A teacher can also have short breaks in between the lesson.
Yes, short breaks in between the lessons, breaking the task into smaller activities, using color contrast to attract them, giving them activities of interest, giving them materials or learning materials that attract their attention.
Should also give positive reinforcement.
The reinforcement aspect, yes.
Pascal.
Yes.
Saa 4 imefika. Leo ni tarehe 2, si ndio?
Oh yeah.
Najua hata umesahau. Leo ni tarehe 2 na unajua nini? Mfuko bado iko moto. Kama Kifuma ameniambia anataka kuninunulia mbuzi. Najua in 2 weeks time pesa itakuwa imeisha. Si tukumbushe watu maneno ya Zoom.
Harakisha bana.
Tukumbushe watu maneno ya Zoom. Najua sijui kama kuna wageni wameingia, but it's good to remind people at this time ili watu wasisahau.